China now, as residents have been banging pans and shouting from the windows of their homes to protest against the government-enforced lockdown in Shanghai. Well, criticism of the government is rare in China, but Shanghai has been closed down for 5 weeks, and residents say they've struggled to access food supplies, whilst others have been temporarily evacuated from their homes so they can be disinfected. Today, officials reaffirmed their commitment to a zero-COVID approach. Stephen McDonnell has more.
We had officials here saying today at a media conference, not only would it put too much pressure on the system if they eased up on zero COVID, the hospital system, but there just aren't enough people here vaccinated. The government has dropped the ball, really, when it comes to booster shots, and they're saying, especially in the older, upper echelons of the community, older people here, not enough people have had their third shot. So what they're doing is, well, in Beijing, for example, trying to avoid another citywide lockdown by locking down specific buildings or specific neighbourhoods. Now, tens of millions of people in this city have had 3 tests this week. Today, only 49 extra cases, and it's been the same the last few days. So it seems like we're not going to, for the moment at least, have a citywide lockdown here. But whenever anyone's found to have tested positive, well, that area, that sort of community will be locked down. I mean, in the buildings you can see behind me, there are parts of the CBD currently locked down like this because there've been a couple of cases. So they're trying to be sort of very strict in localized areas to avoid shutting Beijing down, just like Shanghai has been, because they can see the massive damage that is doing to not only people's sort of individual well-being, but the overall Chinese economy. I think it could just be complacency, that after having 2 shots, a lot of people thought, well, it's okay, and why do I need the third one? There hasn't been a big campaign before now to sort of encourage people to get that third shot. But following sort of the outbreak of Omicron now, and people realising, no, you can't just sort of drop the ball. There are all sorts of initiatives now being sort of instigated. Like, for example, in some communities, people are being paid to have their shot so that the local community can sort of get its rates up. I mean, I think for many observers, many scientists would say, well, whatever it takes to get more booster shots out there, because what a lot of people are asked in Shanghai is, instead of isolating people in these enormous hangars, these quarantine centres, instead of the mass testing, why don't you put all that effort into getting booster shots? And part of the reason is political. They've got to get through the party congress in October, and then perhaps we can see some sort of a change.